Before I start rambling, I'm going to really quickly credit on the screen the builder's name for the shell of this house. If I can't decorate, which you'll find very, very soon, I really can't build from scratch. So thank you to them, even though they don't know who I am. Thank you. I'm not too sure where to start, but I'm going to start with the exterior entryway. And of course, I made a Pinterest board for this house, so I'm going to put some of the images of my inspiration. The door swatches, though, it's kind of hard for me to figure out how to color coordinate. It confuses me a little bit. just nod your head and agree with me. It's okay. So while I put these little pieces down and I figure out what to do, let me describe to you the family that lives here. I obviously haven't started recording it by the time this gets published because I'm building the house, but I'm doing a little short series in this house centering around a character named Penelope. She lives with her family in Oasis Springs usually, but she decided to come and visit this house once her Aunt Trish, who lives here, invited her to. So, Aunt Trish, she is a very, very well-traveled woman. I think most of the stuff that I'm going to be placing down, I can make like a little backstory behind. What will I do? Where did she get this one thing? I'm saying like the reason I started actually not just taking houses from the gallery and placing them down and playing with my Sims is because after a while that felt so boring, and I never wanted to just sit down and do this time-consuming thing of decorating and stuff because I didn't even know how to do it. But watching all of these people decorate their houses and then explain how each character has some symbolism to everything is so cute and so inspirational. So this is me attempting to try that. This is me attempting to give these characters much more life. Right before I started decorating, I went to Patreon and started looking up random custom content, clutter decorators, so I'm gonna lie them onto the side of the house so I can just take a look at them. Really wanted to quickly say that all of the custom content I used in this house will be linked in the description with the user's Patreon. Please look at them. I don't ever mean to gatekeep. They are such gorgeous designs. I love them so much, so give them some love too. I realize I have been more silent than I intend to be in this Decorate With Me, so apologies. And fun fact, this is the first time I have spoken into a microphone about The Sims before, so y'all give me some time. I'm still growing. At this very moment, I am starting to decorate the living room. Some inspirations for this living room are on the screen. Okay, I think I finally got this. I literally just found out how to change the height of objects. Look at this! I cannot believe it took me that long to figure out how to do that, but oh my goodness, so gorgeous! Aunt Trish is a woman, I'd say around in her early 50s. She works as a freelancer and she's been very successful about that. I haven't decided like which branch of freelancing she works in, but she works online, so every chance she gets, she's out. Yes, Aunt Trish heard something very tragic happen to Penelope's family. She reached out to Penelope because she knows that Penelope likes her alone time. She asked, "Hey, I'm going off to Sulani. Why don't you house sit for a bit? I have 3 cats." Yes, she's the stereotypical, what do they call it? Cat lady. She's like the stereotypical old cat lady who has a bunch of cats. She has 3 cats, and she usually gets her neighbors to house sit for her. But she was like, you know what? I have a guest bedroom. Penelope, move in for a week. Be alone. Be in a city that you're usually not in, and build. Because I know you're hurting right now. I have been looking to find a good couch for this living room for so long. I think this looks okay. I realized I didn't explain all the plants. From my 3.5 right now, houses of decorating, I've put plants everywhere. They're just such a good they're so fun to decorate with. Houseplants, they make everything feel so much more alive. If you hear things in the background, that is my dog. She's being very loud. Hey! Anyways, I have this constant fixation on all the plants, and maybe it's because I need more custom content because I don't know what else to put around the house. Be like, oh yes, they all love gardening, all of them. I realize this room looks really alarming because it's just pictures of 2 Sims, but there's a whole backstory there. But I'm currently building this right after I went and took a bunch of pictures of the previous household the previous household this is based on. So, that can be another thing I decorate things with. I just think, oh my goodness, I love watching like the current households. People talk about their current households and they have all these photos and they put in so much work and it's so cool, you guys. And also, I usually have absolutely no clue what to do in regards to the lighting settings. What is normal? I don't know. Maybe I should do more research before I conduct these because literally everything I do is just based on vibes. Like, this feels right. I don't know if it is right, but look, I got the little old, the little old music player. I think it's so cute. I think Auntie Trish is gonna have a small TV, a small TV because she's always traveling. She doesn't need all these electronics and stuff. Like, the family's always trying to pick up and be like, hey, Trish, Patricia, answer your phone. She's like, I'm living my life. How about you guys just knock on my door? And I imagine Oasis Springs, and I've only said this world name in my head, as you know you do, so I greatly apologize. I imagine Oasis Springs and Ciudad Enamorada to be pretty far, at least a flight away. I'd imagine at least 3 hours. So I forgot why I mentioned this. Okay, I'm trying to add a bit more. I feel like I already forgot, even though I'm not even that far into decorating, but I've forgotten to add more cat things than I intended to, so. But yes, we gotta add a few bowls. We gotta make this more lived in, like a bunch of cats live there. I've never had a pet cat. I'm a dog person all the way, so hopefully I get the depiction of this right. I need a light for this front door. Oh my goodness. They're flip-flops. That's so cute. I'm just putting the randomest decorations everywhere. But so far I feel like I did okay. I'm trying to figure out what room I should do next, but I just realized I didn't even start with a floor plan. I just literally started at the entryway and didn't even look in. So I know as much as you do about what I'm gonna do next. I've been doing this for a little bit, and I have been struggling with figuring out how I'm going to organize this kitchen. It's such a small space. And yeah, I don't know where to put this fridge. Oh, that's another. Oh, guys, I did it. Oh! That was very awkward though. Okay, maybe we need to here. I think I figured everything out. No. Okay, here. Oh, okay. The microwaves in The Sims 4 are so huge, and I don't know if anybody's talking about this, but like, why is it the size of the entire counter? Maybe it's clear I'm a college student and we only can pay for like those really, really cheap like Temu microwaves. Actually, my roommate freshman year in college, she bought a microwave from Temu, which I thought was crazy because Temu and microwaves, I don't know about y'all. I am still alive, but we'll see what happens. Okay, had a little commentary break. I finished the kitchen. As I'm going through this, I realized that if I ever make another decorate with me video, I need to figure out how I'm going to edit it because I feel like I'm going crazy. There are so many different styles to even try. Like, for example, you could do just silent, no commentary. I'm so sorry if you hear my dog. That is my dog in the background. She's being very loud. But yes, I have placed the shower down and I just realized that I did not think of the toilet in this room. But yes, do I do voiceovers while I build? Do I do voiceovers after I've built and I place them on to the original film? Like, there are so many different options I could do, which is why this is taking me so long. Maybe it's very obvious that I don't go into many other people's houses at this moment. I don't know if this is a sustainable bathroom, but it's okay. See, Aunt Trish is not even home enough to really consider these things. I also realized that I forgot to go on my tangent about why I'm adding so many plants, how it fits into the story, as usually it's what I do with all my other households where I'm like, oh yeah, they all like gardening, etc., etc. How I'm going to fit this into the story, why Aunt Trish has so many plants, is because she travels a lot, okay? She travels a lot, she collects many different things, she sees, oh my goodness, as I was trying to say, she goes on many trips and she sees all sorts of plants and she writes them down, she collects them, most of them are fake, but some of these are real. I'm going to say the ones in the bathroom are fake though. And also that's another reason why she has so many house sitters all the time. Cats are very easy. She doesn't really bring them on her travels unless it's a long road trip. I don't know, carrying cats onto the plane always scares me, I guess. And she wouldn't take them on like a 1-week trip just to fly back with them. So only if it's a very, very long trip. My point is, she always has these house sitters to take care of her 3 cats and also water all the plants. Oh my gosh, my dog just drove into her bed. What are you doing? I have moved on and this is going to be Auntie Trish's room. Okay, and always, because apparently I can't seem to live without it, we have the Pinterest inspired photos. We'll see how I get through this. I'm trying to decorate this knowing that Penelope is going to be alone, and well, technically so many people go into Auntie Trish's house to take care of her plants and stuff, so it's a very well-known fact that she's never even home. So of course, with this in mind, I still want to make it seem very lively, like she is there when she is not. Because yes, truly, spaces really do hold the energy of the people who live in them, and I'm going to see how well I can capture it. Of course, her room is going to have so many things, and of course, it's going to be a little bit of a mess. If you're not home very often, I'll at least say she's in a rush. I think her personality would be like she's in a rush all the time. She's the type of family member that's always late to events, even if you plan it far ahead. But she's still a dependable person. She just sucks at time management. Anyways, she rushes back and forth a lot, so she leaves things around. I mentioned it earlier, so I'm going to talk about it now. The bed, it's colorful. She has many colorful blankets lying around. It's okay. Though I will say I am definitely struggling with what color I'm actually going to keep the bed. So we'll see. Stay tuned. And I do truly imagine that Trisha has stories about everything in her room, like every single item. For example, maybe I say she's lived in this house for maybe about 15 years, but before that, that mirror, for example, let's say 20 years ago, she was settling down, and there is a university in this town, by the way. That is a thing that I did in my forever save. So that is, oh my goodness. That is there. So let's say she was settling down in that university and she needed a mirror. So she and her college friends went out and they thrifted this. This was like the cheapest item in the entire thrift store. Little things like that. Little things she brought back from her travels, things she plants she's attempting to grow. Not too sure, but I hope that it looks lived in. That is my number one purpose at this very moment, to make it look like her room has some life, because she is full of life. She is full of just so much joy and wanting to live her life as, like, oh my goodness, what's the phrase? Wanting to live every single day as if it's the last day of her life. And the last room, which is the guest bedroom, aka the room that Penelope is staying in. And just for story purposes and appearance purposes, I'm gonna make this very curated to Penelope herself. So in regards to the story behind this room, I can say that maybe she's been here for a couple days hanging out with her aunt, and she's been able to set up a little bit. She has brought a lot of pictures of her and her family here. You'll notice now that the walls are completely bare. There are no more family photos. I've put those into one of the Sims inventories, and I'll be adding that as I go along and decorate everything. But primarily, all of those photos are surrounded around Penelope's story and what she is doing here. So over the past 3 days here, her aunt really wanted her to feel at home, considering all the terrible things that have been going on. One of her family members has passed away. You can maybe tell based on what the photos were resembling, which was her and her twin sister Maeve. But yes, Penelope is coming here after her sister passed away. So as I decorate these shelves and I put little things on there to make it feel a little bit more homey, I think for this room specifically, I'm trying out actually doing a consistent color palette. I think it's working out okay. I think instinctively I usually do a consistent color palette, a consistent color palette per room. I'm not too sure. Here, I'm very, very conscious of it. I want this to look put together, and Penelope as a character is someone who I can relate to a little bit, so I'm trying to emulate how, if I were living in this room, what I would want it to look like. But honestly, I think I'm going to tone down the colors a little bit more than what I would actually like if I lived there. I just think that captures the vibe I'm trying to go for right now. I think that would make everything look a little bit better. Trying to look for custom content on Pinterest the other day, and I found this really, really gorgeous. I'll put it on the screen. It's this set by kirikasims. They have a lot of really cool sets, but this is the one that has captured my attention, and maybe you've seen it a little bit in this house, but it is so gorgeous. I was like, you know what? Maybe decorating is in my future. So absolute favorite. I will be using a lot of their decor in this room. So already, while I'm putting down all of this clutter, definitely I think this room might be my favorite in the house. I am certainly not the best at decorating, but every single time I finish something like this, I am so excited to just see the Sims that I put hours into customizing, using all the things. This game is truly and literally a dollhouse. So this might also be common knowledge, because I didn't realize how much storytelling aspect and how nice it is to play The Sims when you actually slow down for a second. I've always been the type of person to just create a Sim, put them in a house, but then I'd look a little bit at the EA already created houses that are there when you install the worlds and stuff, and then I'd go onto the gallery, figure out which one looks the best, put it down, and make stories from there, but it would never feel authentic because it was never something that I created. So always number one gallery fan. I love looking at other people's, how they decorate things. I think it's so amazing. But yes, actually sitting down and looking through things and trying new things out, that has a lot of value in it in itself as well. I was inspired by this one YouTube video. I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. they had gone in and like showed an in-depth video about how they took all these pictures and how they did storytelling through The Sims just by setting things up, and I thought that was amazing. I would really hate for it to look like I'm copying them and everything, but with so much inspiration and appreciation for their videos, this was kind of like my version, my take on how to do it all. And maybe it doesn't look as fleshed out yet. Give me some time. I'm still cooking. Point of this tangent is that Sim stories are beautiful. Expand on them, because I didn't realize how many tools I have at hand that I haven't been thinking about until I looked at what everybody else is doing in The Sims. So yeah, oh my goodness, this is such a weird tangent. I'm just going through everything right now because I was going through all the photos that I had taken for this save file, but yes, I'm just really excited right now. So I really hope I did not overdo it with all the memorial photos and everything of Penelope and her sister, but I just wanted to really quickly add that in and decorate it. Lots of photos, but I'm not going to explain things too much because I already have, by the time this is posted, explained all of that in depth in a separate video. So yes. Okay, so giving y'all a really quick tour of everything and how it all ended up. A very, very quick glance over at the living room. This is the first thing you see when you walk into the house. Maybe I'll change a few things before I actually get started with storytelling. But yes, here is the kitchen. I actually kind of like it, I think. I'm not too sure. Maybe it is just the gshade and the coloring settings I have for The Sims, but I think it's okay. Of course, some cat things. For the 3 cats, I put up a picture of Penelope and Maeve. And here I go talking about this custom content again because it's so gorgeous. Look at those. This is the finished product of Auntie Trisha's room. Lots of plants, lots of clutter, many things going on, but everything in this room is very well loved and put down with a lot of purpose, even though she doesn't really spend a lot of time in here. So I do have a lot of appreciation for this room. I do like it. This is Penelope's guest room. It is specifically created for her. When you walk in, the first thing that you do see is the memorial set up with a bunch of candles and flowers around it. Her bed, lots of pictures surrounded of her and her sister. It's very personal and definitely one of those things that bring her lots of comfort. This is me at a later point in time cutting in. I just realized that I didn't record the bathroom, but trust, it's very, very gorgeous. I like the bathroom. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit of a mess, but if I ever make another video like this, it was definitely very nice to be able to experiment and see what type of style I want to go for. So yeah, this video was a bit of an experiment for me. Anyways, I am Lamira Sims. I make cozy storytelling content as well as some quiet gameplays, some custom content showcases, whatever I'm in the mood for. And currently I'm planning to post 2 times a week on Fridays and Sundays. So I really hope to see you around. So much appreciation if you have made it this far. I love you so much. Please take care of yourself, drink lots of water, eat lots of yummy food. You are loved. So many different things. Okay, goodbye.